Hello and welcome back to the Join Dota League Season 3 here on HeflaTV 2. This is going to be Game 2 of our Best of 2 series between Invasion Esports and Kingdom. And, well, as for your casters, I'm GrandisV, and, well, finally I'm going to be joined by co-caster. It's going to be Mike Loris after a very long game number 1.
I like how that one game that I couldn't help you is the one that you needed the most help because it was just so slow for so much of the game. I mean, it had a good spurts of action here and there. I didn't catch the whole thing, but I think it really showed the power of turtling and the fact that Pugna really does fall off. He will only get you so far in the game, and then you need someone else to take the lead. And if that doesn't happen, then you might very well lose the game.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem for, oh dear, I can't even remember. It was Kingdom, right? They were pushing down in the mid lane. They got their melee barracks, and that's fine, but they didn't pull out immediately. They tried to go for more, and then they ended up dying and being forced to use their buybacks on their Earthshaker and Rana, and then they lost 4, and at that point it was over.
Yeah, just one delicate mistake, and when you're running like such an aggressive composition, can very easily punish you. But we'll see if Kingdom can fix up their game and just like tune it up just a little bit, because when you get that far and then you lose, it's always a little bit upsetting. But they did get that far, so they're capable of, I think, taking down Invasion. And well, in this best of 2, they'll have only one more shot to do it, as Invasion, thinking about their ban, they see that Death Prophet Razor's banned out, and they're going to let Lycan slip through. I think this might be what Kingdom want to pick up. I mean, they ran the pushing comp last game, and now they have access to Lycan, so why not go for round 2?
I don't see a compelling reason not to, and if you don't go for it, I see Invasion picking it up, and they're going to go for the Faceless Void. I think this is the easiest pick of your life. I think you just go Lycan Shadow Shaman, as much as it's overdone, and we see it time and time again whenever it's left through the pool. I don't see a compelling reason not to go for that Lycan throw. I mean, Faceless Void's good against Lycan in the late game scenario. Keeping him in place is wonderful, and you can focus him down pretty effectively, but even so, you can make up for the fact that Lycanthrope isn't the best team fighting hero by picking up some of your own. Maybe start out with something like a Lycan Tidehunter, but it's a dire Lycan. I don't think there's a reason to not go for it.
Oftentimes when we see Lycan getting through the first ban phase, we do see teams just ignoring him because they prioritize some other heroes a lot more highly, or for whatever reason they just don't want to pick him up. This might be one of those games, but I feel like the hero is just so strong, and though Faceless Void Chronosphere is probably one of the best tools that you could ask for against a Lycan, seeing as though it will stop him in his tracks if he's shapeshifted or not, whereas something like Hex will only sometimes work on the Lycan. So Faceless Void's ultimate is the best tool you could ask for when you're dealing with someone like a Lycan, but then again, who is Faceless Void's Chronosphere not good against? Like, it's an end-all ultimate. You land that, and no matter what, someone is going to get beaten down, and they're not going to have a great time. Looks like Invasion, they're going to open up with Nature's Prophet, and if they don't go for Lycan now, then I will be extremely surprised. The Howl and Treant combination is ridiculous.
I think so as well. I don't know. I'm not sure why it's taking them so long for the second pick. I think the reserve time used in the earlier portion is fine. But if you've used this much time to think about it, I think it's pretty much just straightforward. Nature's Prophet, Lycanthrope. Why would you go for anything else? Because even if they catch the Chronosphere on the Lycanthrope, it's his summons that are going to be doing a lot of the work, as are the Nature's Prophet, Treants, and presumably Necronomicon coming out from both of them. If you don't clear out those waves, and Faceless Void not the best hero at doing so, unless he picks up like a Mjolnir or Battle Fury, you're not going to see that. They're going to use a lot of their time for it, but I think at the end it's probably just going to be a Lycanthrope pick. If it's not, I'll be surprised and I'll be pretty disappointed. I don't think Kingdom will take it up for themselves, but it's going to be a Jakiro. Huh. This is very peculiar. I don't think that Jakiro's a great pick here. It's going to be nice and all for the early pressure that they can put with the Nature's Prophet Jakiro around the map, but I think that Lycanthrope would hit the timing at pretty much the same time Nature's Prophet would. And since they leave it in the pool, there's almost not a chance they're going to get in the second picking stage. Although they do have first pick, and if it's not banned out, maybe you are just going to see one of those games where Lycanthrope's completely ignored.
I mean, Nature's Prophet and Jakiro are both heroes that work so very well with Lycan, but the odds of the Lycan being banned out here, as you said, are just so huge. Kingdom, I don't see them not banning out a Lycan. Maybe we're dwelling a little bit too much on this hero, but he is a hero that just synergizes so very well with what Invasion have right now, and though Batrider and Faceless Void are great counters to him, just the straight 5-man group up and push strategy that Invasion can launch is absolutely terrifying right now. The Kingdom side, they have to also potentially respect the potential pickups of someone like the Pugna that they just ran against Invasion. More heroes that could just get a lot of pushing going on, but Looks like for now they're going to take out an Ember Spirit. I don't really know what's going on because Invasion, they have a very, very clear line of play right now, and that's to push. Shadow Shaman and Lycan should be priorities for the Invasion side, and really, Kingdom, they are pretty well prepared for this, honestly. Like, they have lots of initiation in the Faceless Void and Batrider. They'll just need a little bit more AoE, and then they'll be golden, but this is such a weird draft in that the players and the captains aren't prioritizing what we think is really what they should be. In Invasion, they take the risk in taking the Jakiro and Nature's Prophet first, and they get paid off because now they can still go for that Lycan, and it's still not too late for it. But are they going to go for it? They might just ignore it still.
I don't know. I think they might. If they don't go for the Lycanthrope, I'd like to see them just go balls deep into a very aggressive push with picks like this Venomancer. It's not going to be your Lycanthrope by any means, but it's going to be a very nice early aggressive hero that can set up some kills of his own and then put constant pressure on towers with the Plague Wards. I think it's an okay pick, but I don't get it. It makes no sense. It's blowing my mind, but Lycanthrope is ignored. Sometimes it just happens like that, and we kind of have to accept it and probably move on to the next picks. Kingdom are missing quite a lot of their supports, and probably one more core, presumably going towards mid lane, unless that's a mid bat, in which case they might go for a centaur, but I think that's just a little too much in the initiation. I'd like to see maybe something along the lines of an invoker for them. That could go pretty well with the Faceless Void. Maybe they pick up their support. Shadow Shaman, Witch Doctor available. Scarlet Mage was banned out, obviously, by Invasion Esports, but anything along those lines could be pretty solid.
Yeah, I'm liking the Shadow Shaman and Witch Doctor route for Kingdom. Either one would be really nice right here. Just having that combination with the Faceless Void makes initiation so much more powerful when you could actually lay some real damage into that Chronosphere. And right now they don't have anyone to put damage into that Chronosphere, so it will be a rather lackluster skill aside from just a giant AoE disable. Invasion, they're probably going to be looking to go towards something more along the lines of a DK. Still a pushing hero, though not as commonly seen, as more than capable of putting some serious hurt on those towers. So it's coming out with a DK would be very nice for them. And then as far as last pushing heroes, one more core, assuming probably not no more cores because Venomancer is probably going to be played as a core. So Venomancer core, I want to see a DK core and Nature's Prophet. Another pushing support, there aren't that many, but you could always go real deep into something like Leshrac if they really want to end this game quickly. Kingdom, a giant AoE ultimate to combo with the Faceless Void could be pretty nice, so if they do go for something like a Tide, or a little bit of a more solo initiation role in the Centaur, could be great ways of just picking off Invasion constantly, and every single time you pick off an Invasion hero, when they're running a strategy that relies on them grouping up and going as a group as 5, then they're going as 4, and most likely they're going to not push off of that. So picks for Kingdom are going to be so important in this game, more so than they usually are, not just to get the experience and gold from the kill, but also to delay the plays that Invasion want to make.
Yeah, they have really good heroes for it in the Faceless Void and Batrider, but both of these teams are taking a lot of time in this draft. They're going to eat through all of the reserve time and end up picking a Sand King. I don't like this pick, actually. It doesn't offer enough counter push, I feel, and it's going to be very reliant on their Blink Dagger. The jungle is going to be very important for Kingdom, and I think that their early laning stage is just going to be too greedy for them to actually be able to make something happen. That said, if they get another support that can get the Sand King in range, it could still work out for them. Witch Doctor, I'm still not opposed to that hero, as the Cask is decent counter push, combos really well with the Faceless Void, and allows Sand King to get his Burrow Strikes off early game. But still, I'm not really feeling the Sand King pickup. It's going to make them rely very heavily on a timing that's about in 15 minutes in, but at that time, Invasion Esports might have just pushed down all of their towers.
Sand King really can't do anything to stop this push from Invasion until he gets his Blink Dagger. Once he has that, he'll be sitting pretty, but if they last that long, that's the real question. Like, Sand King is, for the most part, a relatively passive hero. He can sometimes go around and play very aggressively should the situation present itself. If he is with a support that's, like Skywrath, which is very oftenly seen, then he could definitely get some kills going on early. But if he can't do that, then Invasion are going to have a free game where they're going to have to worry about, for the most part, only one support hero from Kingdom. Invasion, they're going to go for a Tide Hunter. Not sure if this is a core Tide Hunter or not. There is a chance this is going to be just a very aggressive Veno Tide Jakiro lane, in which case the Tide Hunter are going to be prioritizing Gush, and they're going to be looking for kills very, very frequently. It's not exactly in line with the pushing strategy that they have so far crafted for themselves, but having a little bit of an answer for Batrider and the Faceless Void is never going to be a bad thing. A large AoE stun is rarely ever going to fail you.
I think for this last pick, what I'm hoping for from Invasion is Vengeful Spirit. I think it would combo pretty well with the aggressive style that they're going to be playing early, giving them pretty easy access to Roshan, as well as an answer to that Batrider Lasso. With the swap as well as with the Ravage, they can combo a lot of the big AoE coming out from Kingdom, and then I don't know, I think their lanes would be messed up a little bit by that. They could go aggressive Trilan with Jakiro, Veno, Venge. Either Veno or Venge being the farming core there. I'm not sure it matters that much. Veno probably would be my choice. Nature's Prophet mid and then solo safe lane Tide versus a Batrider. I don't know. It could work out. I'm not sure if they'll go for it, though. Either way, Kingdom picked themselves up the Invoker. This pick makes a lot more sense. I think Sand King's really just the odd one out. But Invoker going to offer them a little bit of counter push if he drops the Meteors for it, and if he wants to. Also, setting up Stun Strikes as well as Deafening Blast Meteor combos in Chronosphere, always a good thing. It's going to be a last band Juggernaut coming out from Kingdom. Also makes quite a big amount of sense, is it's a lot of sustain as well as early aggression that could be available for Invasion if they went for it.
Invasion, they have a couple ways that they could go right now. They do have a good amount of pushing, and it looks like, well, what I was going to say is now irrelevant, since it doesn't matter. They've already picked up their hero. Naga Siren potentially as the final core hero for Invasion. Still not sure about the Tidehunter Venomancer situation, but for Naga Siren, it's mostly, I want to say, in order to prevent Faceless Void from getting off a really safe Chronosphere. If you could get the song out, that'll stop Batrider in his tracks from lassoing lassoing his target back. It'll stop anyone from putting damage into the Chronosphere. It's generally just a big showstopper, especially versus the Chronosphere of the Faceless Void. Also, if an Invasion do go for this pushing early, it's not going to be pushing to end the game. It's going to be pushing in order to get map control so that Naga Siren can bring the game home for them. They get the towers, they get the gold, Naga Siren uses all that gold to buy Radiance, and then suddenly Kingdom have no map control and they're being pushed down by Naga Siren illusions all around the map. I think that's where Invasion actually have gone for this one, and well, they do have a lot of pushing power. It's not going to be all in the pushing. They do have the backup plan, the Naga Siren, and they will be fine if this game does end up getting extended, as Kingdom for their last pick is going to be the Disruptor. Two relatively passive supports for Kingdom, and I don't know if these supports are actually going to be doing much in this game.
Yeah, I don't think so either. You can glimpse back into a Burrow Strike, which is okay, I suppose, but yeah, they're very passive. Your Disruptor is probably just going to be babysitting in lane, then you're going to have a Sand King that's going to be abusing the jungle. I think that if Invasion just dropped like a couple of wards inside the enemy jungle to block off the farm for the Batrider as well as the Sand King, they'd be in a very good situation for this early lane stage. Either way, we are going to see what's actually going to happen as into game 2 we go, with Kingdom playing on the Radiant side, 2D on the Batrider, Star on the Invoker, Fruits on the Disruptor, Smashy on the Sand King, and last but not least, Yuma Kampaku on the Faceless Void.
And on the Invasion side, we have playing the Naga Siren ADTR on her. Ghost is going to be playing the Nature's Prophet, as the Tidehunter is going to be controlled by FZ. Kesikimpa is going to be on the Venomancer, most likely is going to be core, and OK is going to be on the Jakiro. Let's see how these lanes are actually going to shape up. For now, it looks like there's going to be a support Siren. She did buy Sentry Wards, I believe, and Tidehunter is going to be farming with a tri-lane. Venomancer mid and Ghost solo. Well, we were right in that Nature's Prophet is going to be taking a solo lane, but this is not the bottom lane that I really would have expected from Invasion.
Yeah, I don't know, I was kind of hoping that they'd give the Tidehunter the support farm if they are going to run a core Venomancer. As the Naga Siren, as the support, she can transition later on if you really get those early tires, which they can, for sure, but it's not going to be comparable to giving a core Naga Siren farm. Either way, Tidehunter waiting near that small camp, probably just going to body block this one up. They haven't leveled anything. As a support, Tidehunter, we're probably going to see him prioritize Gush more than you see Kraken Shell. But yeah, Tidehunter pokes his face in, gets bopped with an auto attack, and that's it. Oh, never mind. Backwards. Tidehunter is going to be the farming core. He has the boots first. This Naga Siren Jakiro can leave him more or less alone fairly easily, although I'm not sure what they're actually getting by using this tri-lane. It's not the best killing tri-lane. They do have Net and Ice Path, which is nice, but I'm not sure where the additional damage is coming through.
Yeah, I don't really like this tri-lane from Invasion. I feel like if they just lane this a little bit more defensively and have the Tidehunter solo the offlane as per usual, they could have gotten a lot more with this. You know, putting these three heroes down here, it is going to pressure the Faceless Void quite a bit, and at the same time, it's also going to make Sand King's life a little bit more difficult. If these supports from Invasion are constantly blocking camps and denying stacks from the Sand King, then the Sand King suddenly is going to be falling very far behind, because the odds of him getting a kill in this bottom lane are very, very low unless Invasion decide to dive a tower or something like that. And otherwise, he's not going to get any farm anywhere else. This pole camp is warded, so they can't get away with that, although Smashy looks like he will deward that soon enough. it's just going to be such a nuisance for Smashy, as he will just constantly be fighting up against these supports, and then at that point, it's basically just FCFC going solo versus the Faceless Void, and that's a lane that Tidehunter is going to enjoy quite a bit. And I think for the most part, bottom lane, though there is a 3v3 lane, it should be relatively passive, as neither side actually can kill the other side reliably. Then it's going to come down to the other lanes. Venomancer is going to be going up against the Invoker. It's a okay lane for the Venomancer early on, but it does get worse as the Invoker picks up more Exhort, although Venomancer going strong into Star with 1 point Gale, 1 point Poison Sting, putting a lot of hurt onto this hero. And top lane with the Batrider versus Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet is going to have a very, very tough time up here, but he does have a magic stick, so he can recover somewhat.
Yeah, Nature's Prophet shouldn't die unless he gets gooed up a bunch by the Batrider, as long as he's keeping track on the sticky napalm charges. We shouldn't see a kill there, so I think that our kill potential is probably the best in the bottom lane, although I have no idea where First Blood's going to come out. It might go into Fruits. The Ice Path is not going to be on the mark as he avoids that one, but now he's caught in a corner with the Tidehunter as well as the Naga, and I don't think he's getting out of here. Liquid Fire, a bop from OK, and that is going to be the kill onto Fruits here. Our First Blood is going to be in the bottom lane.
Well, I mean, you don't really need that much Disable to land if the Disruptor voluntarily runs himself into a corner. It was, of course, a dodge and Ice Path, but it's a kill nonetheless for Invasion. We didn't expect those to happen. I still think that was more of a rarity than anything else. You're probably not going to be seeing that happen again. That only really happened because Fruits was a little bit too far up, and he was forced to juke to the side in order to dodge an Ice Path. Either way, he would have died. So, Invasion getting a nice opportunity for a kill there, and well, they're still getting this Tidehunter a good amount of farm and denying it to the Faceless Void, who only has one single last hit. OK on the Jakiro is making this Faceless Void's life a living hell, whereas ADTR is completely shutting down the enemy jungle. There's one stack of hard camps, but this is the hard camp stack for the Sand King is now blocked, and none of the other camps are being stacked at all. Sand King's still level 1. He's going to move up to the top lane where he's going to look for Ghost. Hastrun is going to run out, though. He waited too long on the Burrow Strike, and now Ghost is just going to walk away. That could have been such an easy kill, but Smashy holding the Hastrun for just a little bit too long.
Yeah, rotation from the Sand King not going to work out, and this laning stage is just being a disaster for Kingdom. Their mid lane's still going well, the Invoker. Oh, yep, they are going to make it go. The Ice Path is going to land inside the corner. They're going to find the Disruptor again. Nowhere for him to run. They TP in the Nature's Prophet, and they might be able to find the Faceless Void. I don't think so. He has Time Walk, and now he's going to be man-fighting up. Oh, the Treants are here, and he's caught between a lot of enemy heroes. He's not in the safest of situations. They do bring the Batrider. It's a party down in bottom as the Tidehunter's here. That Napalm stack is going to make his turn rate very slow. He gets caught up by the Kinetic Field as well, and FCFC might get burned down. He has 2 stacks, and now the Firefly working onto him. They're going to gush up the Batrider, and Batrider's caught between too many heroes. They are going to lose their Tidehunter, but the Batrider also dies. 1 to 3 our kill score, as everybody's rotated down towards bottom with the exception of our mid heroes.
And Invasion ultimately taking that one home again. It's going to be 2 kills for them. The Batrider getting way too over his head. I mean, he is doing a lot of damage with his Firefly and Napalm, but then you walked into 4 enemy heroes. You're not going to survive that. I don't really care who you are at this stage. Ghost is just going to teleport right back up to the top lane. His damage has been done. He got to the bottom lane, got a kill, got an assist, and then there's going to be a whole lot of gold that he's going to be very happy with. And Kingdom, their supports are really hurting right now. Level 2 on the Sand King, level 3 on the Disruptor. Disruptor participated in one of those kills, but just all these kills and assist gold going the way of these supports. Like, OK is holding on to 500 gold, which for support, Jakiro at this stage is a lot. And ADTR are going to run into Disruptor. They're going to try to duel to the death, but Naga Siren is not going to win that one. I don't think she started out with the most HP, and also it's a double damage Disruptor with a 1 level advantage. That was mighty bold of the Naga Siren to try to fight that.
Yeah, I think so as well. Even if she got like Stout Shield procs on everything, her base damage isn't high enough to man fight against, so she has some good armor to deal with. But yeah, double damage too strong, you can't do that. Just a little too bold. Unfortunate. Sand King potentially looking for a wraparound on a Ghost. He might be able to get range as that turn rate's too slow, and he won't be able to get the Sparrow Strike. He might be able to chase down Ghost here. He's not going to be burning for that much, but the body blocks are coming through, and under the tower they go. With the burning damage, they don't need very much. Just going to play Ring Around the Roses a little bit. Another stack is taking Napalm, and Ghost is going to fall down. Although 2D drops very low, and the Sick Charges won't be able to get the Batrider kill before he dies, but he might just die to these creeps. The right clicks, will they be there? No. He's going to turn for the Flame Break. Not sure if that was even necessary. They just need a little bit more. Somebody come and kill this Batrider. He's completely out of everything. He's just going to deny himself to neutrals. There we go.
So he dies to the neutrals. He held up bottom lane, though. Kampaku in a little bit of trouble as he time walks straight into an ensnare. Dual Breath is going to follow up, and Kampaku is going to try to run. Here comes Nature's Prophet in order to secure the kill. Well done, Nature's Prophet. But yeah, the Batrider actually could have gotten that kill so much faster if he just used his Flame Break. It is only a level 1 skill, so it doesn't do that much damage, but pushing him back into the Fire would have made that Nature's Prophet drop really much quicker, as 2D now going to teleport into 4 heroes. Why is everyone from Kingdom constantly going into 4 heroes like this? Batrider's available, and he does get the tower deny, and can he get out? Ghost with the right clicks is doing some pretty serious damage to the Batrider. Now the Kinetic Field is going to stop everyone, but Fruits in the Sprout is also going to get stopped. He's going to just barely dodge the Ice Path. There's no mana for another Gush on the Tidehunter, and it looks like Invasion. They're actually all tapped out of mana, so the rotation down for the Batrider actually resulting in a tower deny, and that's pretty much it. They should be pretty happy with that, Kingdom, as they are going to lose the first tower in the game, but losing it for a deny is actually pretty nice, especially since Invasion, they can push so hard. Any tower deny that you could land or any source of gold that you could deny from them is going to be huge.
Yeah, it is a big win. Sand King has finally found himself a little bit of a stack, and Smash is going to get a decent infusion of gold here, as that is a triple stack that he's farming up. We'll also get him to his level 4, which is going to be very nice for his Sand King. It's still not going to propel him as fast as you'd like to see, as Blink Dagger is going to be delayed. Batrider not going to be tagged by an Ice Path. Ice Path lands on literally nothing, not sure what they were going for. Batrider turns into the Gush. He's going to get a Flame Break, or not a Flame Break, but the Firefly damage down. He's also going to get tagged by a Liquid Fire. I don't think he's going to die here. There's not enough follow-up damage. But yeah, this Batrider just kind of casually walks into a lot of heroes very often.
Really, the only thing he has to fear is an Ensnare. Everything else is not actually going to lock the Batrider down. Ice Path is unlikely to land, but really it's Ice Path and Ensnare that Invasion only have in order to lock people down. Tidehunter, not yet at that level 6 mark, and well, mid lane has still been playing pretty much PvE for the moment, as Keswick might be in a little bit trouble, though. Sand King, with only level 2 Burst Strike, he's actually going to get hit with the Gale, and he's forced to Burst Strike out of that. He's still taking a lot of damage, and he will be fine, although it's on the bottom lane where the fight is happening. It's going to be 2 kills for Invasion. I chose the wrong lane to watch. Sunstrike will whiff. Man, I took a chance on taking a look at the mid lane, and I chose wrong.
Yep. Sorry about that. Back into this game we go. I was still moving the camera around, but I was preoccupied, as, yep, just a little bit of mistake as we look at the mid lane where the Burrow Strike doesn't land. He takes about half damage, but it is bottom where the action happens. Nature's Prophet currently putting some pressure on this tier 1 tower up top. Ghost, he is going for that Null Talisman build, only going to commit to 2 of those, and then into the Power Sheds, presumably Blade Mail after. I'm not sure if I really like the Blade Mail this game, but at least the early stat items are going to bolster his damage, and he's been playing aggressively enough to warrant this, I feel.
And Invasion, I'd like to see this Venomancer start to get online a little bit more. Right now, him versus Star is, relatively even. Star has quite a lot of gold for him, and it looks like Invoker is actually going to be going for a mechanism for his team. You rarely ever see that, but really no one else on a Kingdom is going to be building that. And when you're getting pushed like this, you really want to have a mechanism. So it's a rather unorthodox Invoker build, but hell, Invoker usually is functional with just levels, and if you could use his golds in order to help the team, then I think that's okay. ADTR going to be running interference for this top lane. Batrider does have a lasso. They will take down the tower, this time not denied. This pushing power from Invasion is coming together, even though they're pushing without, I would say, their strongest pushing hero in the Venomancer. They're still making it happen, and with the Liquid Fire level 3, soon to be level 4, it's going to be even easier for them moving forward. They could even start looking for the tier 2 towers reliably. However, the ultimates are now up, so whenever they fight, they're going to have to be a little bit more careful, because Faceless Void can drop a Sphere, and Batrider can drop a Lasso. Soon enough, Sand King's going to also have an Epicenter, and Disruptor already has his ultimate, so this push from Invasion might be ill-advised, as they're going to be running into a lot of fire, Liquid Fire on the tower with the Treants. It'll put a lot of hurt onto the tower, and really there's not much that Kingdom can do to clear this wave except for just Firefly. But Invasion, with the lack of for sure disables, are really struggling to actually deal with this Batrider.
Yeah, it's not really going to be that difficult to deal with the Batrider until he gets the Blink Dagger. The Fireplay is nice for the counter push and all, but he's still only halfway towards his Blink after finishing the Tranquil Boots. Sand King's probably going to have his faster. Sand King also takes his level 6, so we're going to have a Blink Burrow Strike Epicenter initiation very shortly, coming out from Smashy. But for now, they are wrapping around on mid, potentially looking for Star. They don't have much except for the Naga Siren, so they're not going to go for that. ADTR can't actually make an aggressive move. But yeah, the push slowly but surely is going to come out from this Venomancer. The Invoker can clear up these wards pretty easily with the Forge Spirits and what have you. They're going to converge onto mid. They do have a Ravage, and I think they're just going to take this last tier 1 tower without much of contention. They're going to net down the Batrider, and now follow up with the Gush. The Gale's going to land. It's a nice Stag Storm on pretty much everybody, but no Kinetic Field. Now the Ravage on the backline is going to catch out 3 heroes, I believe, and they're going to be able to get fruits slowly but surely. It gets the stick charges, the Chronosphere on the backlines. They have the Epicenter as well on top of everything. They will be able to get a kill onto the Venomancer. Now, okay, going to get bashed down by the Faceless Void. Drops the Macropie, time walk forward. One more auto attack is all that they needed. 2 for 1. The trade, tier 1 tower still standing, win for Kingdom. And I think that's about all she wrote. Glimpse back on the Naga, no follow-up. They have the kinetic field, however. Let's see if it's going to be enough to get this kill. No cold snap, no invoke for the Invoker. There is going to be Naga Siren splitting out, and she'll be able to walk away safely.
The Kingdom, they stagger their ultimates kind of awkwardly, the Disruptor ultimate going down first, but spreading out Invasion so as that Kingdom can pick them off once they do spread out. I mean, the Batrider didn't really do that much in that fight because I think he was dropped down instantly, so it was pretty much a 4v5 for Kingdom. However, Star's mechanism, keeping him up at literally full HP for that entire fight, also kept everyone else on Kingdom at a very healthy amounts of HP, and Invasion, once they got the Ravage out, that was pretty much all of their team fight. Like, they had to get kills off of that Ravage, else the Burrow Strike Epicenter combination would have wrecked 2, and the Chronosphere also would have caught 2, which is exactly what we saw. So, Kingdom, they take a nice fight around their Tier 1 tower. Invasion, they can go for more constant pushing, although Tower Keswick is going to get caught in an Ice Wall. Ice Path will deny it, but still the Venomancer is taking quite a bit of damage. Blink forward from Smashy is going to land a stun on the Venomancer, killing him off. Smashy, though, sitting in a Macro Pyre is not where we want to be as a bug. Now he's got to back off. He's going to get hit with the Gush. Ice Path to follow. And Smashy can take a good amount of damage, but still not enough. There's a nice 3-man Burrow Strike. Going to kill off ADTR. Now the Flame Break onto 2 with 2D in the air. He has a lasso, and he's going to go for FC. This Kraken Shell will not proc. He's going to get dragged into the fire, and he will be brought down. Ice Path on the Star will slow him down, but 2D is going to keep going for his Jakiro as he gets glimpsed back into a Kinetic Field. OK is also going to die. Kingdom are going to take a very, very nice trade again on this middle lane, with Star doing so much work in here. And really, 3-man Burrow Strike. Smashy's also doing a fantastic job now that he has his Blink Dagger. And that's exactly what we said. Once the Blink Dagger comes up on Sand King, then he's golden. Until then, it's really the problem, and I think they're pretty much over that hump.
Yeah, I think they have hit their stride right now as they have the Blink Dagger and the Batrider as well. Invasion are still looking pretty good in the gold department. The graphs are pretty much zeroed out. There's not a huge advantage either side, but experience is going to start favoring Kingdom here after the last couple of engagements. Blink Dagger status for the Tidehunter is not going to come up, and not going to come up if it comes up at all, as he's going to be building a pipe for his team. It's going to negate a lot of the Invoker as well as damage from the Sand King and Disruptor, although it's going to stop their initiation fairly quickly. They don't have a great way to jump in without the blink. I think it's not really worth backing off. Maybe have the Venomancer pick up the pipe instead. Veno does have the 2 parts towards this mechanism, but he's just not farming as fast as his component, the Invoker.
And this mechanism is providing a serious advantage for Kingdom. And now that they've actually withstood the initial push from Invasion, Kingdom, they're actually standing in a really good position because they have double Blink Dagger on the Sand King as well as the Batrider. So they're going to be pretty much calling every single fight. They decide when it's going to start and how it's going to start and if it's going to start at all. Invasion, the only tool they have to prevent this is a Tidehunter Ravage, but if Tidehunter gets pulled back and Burrow Struck and stuff like that, then he could very easily be focused down by the Kingdom side because they have the burst and now they're going to go in. The Firefly is up, and Keswick is going to take a ride on the Batrider Express. Ensnare coming a little bit too late. Keswick does go down to the low ground. The song is there, which will deny the Chronosphere for now. The Ravage is being set up from FZ. He's going to walk into place, and you get the Ravage onto 3. Can they bring these heroes down? There's the Chronosphere onto 2 with the Epicenter already channeled from Smashy. Beautifully done by Kingdom, and now Ghost up with the high ground. He'll also be brought down by Star and 2D, as the mech is going to keep everyone from Kingdom alive with the exception of Disruptor. Basis Void is dropping down pretty low to the poison. He will tick down eventually, ultimately making it a 2-for-2 trade. I thought it would have been a little bit better for Kingdom, but the Song of Siren making it so that the Ravage was pretty much as good as it's going to get. So ultimately the score lands at 11 for 10 as both sides lose a core and Actually, Invasion lose 2 cores, so a little bit worse for Invasion, I guess.
I suppose so. Nature's Prophet did fall in that last fight. He's working towards an Orchid as next item. That's going to be very nice in the team fights, especially up against the Faceless Void. If they can find initiation like the one that they just had, the Orchid would have made a world of difference. But yeah, a really nice initiation coming out from Kingdom after the fact with the Chronosphere as well as the Epicenter comboed very well by those 2 heroes. I would have thought it would have oh my goodness, it would have been better for Kingdom, but they weren't able to combo things together as the Naga Siren song stopped all 3 of those heroes to set up the perfect Ravage. Yeah, pretty much everything that you just said. Oh my goodness. Stumbling over my words, it is started up very early in the morning, and hopefully that'll subside. Probably need a little bit of lunch in me, but either way, we're going to wait, as we're probably not going to see a team fight until those big ultimates are back online. Naga Siren picks herself up a medallion. And that'll make Roshan a lot easier for Invasion. With the Gush and Medallion, they can take it pretty effectively. Even though they don't have the most amount of sustain, they have plenty of summons to tank that damage, as well as enough time to do it with the Medallion. Let's see, they probably won't do so unless they win a fight, but right now, I don't think the Kingdom are going to be able to push either. They might be looking for a pickoff with their Batrider, or with a Faceless Void jump in, or a Blink Dagger jump in from the Sand King. But outside of that, there's just not a lot of ways that we're going to see action until those big team fight ultimates are back online.
Yeah, the focal point of this game is so far the mid lane, where Keswick has pretty much made this his home. There are Plague Wards freaking everywhere, and Star's on cleanup duty. This is kind of inflating his CS score, because he does count CS whenever he killed a Plague Ward. It does give him a good amount of gold, and that's going to put him on top of the net worth chart, albeit slightly. The two heroes from King up on top lane, Smashy and Tootie, kind of just taunting Invasion for someone to come up there and deal with that, but right now Invasion, they're pretty much all hanging around the middle lane, and Star's the only one who's actually doing anything here. Fruits is right behind him in order to defend the Invoker should things go south, but really the Invoker should feel pretty secure here, as he does go for the tower. He will have it denied from him. He has a Force Staff, and he's going to get himself out of that situation as the Kinetic Field does get deployed. So it's another tower deny in this game. It's so far a 1-for-1 tower deny, so I guess it's a wash as far as that is concerned, but Invasion with all those Plague Wards and all that time set up on mid lane, you would expect that this tower wouldn't fall for a very long time, as now Smashy looking to jump forward for Keswick. It's not going to happen. The Batrider's still up top for whatever reason. I guess he just really wants his Force Staff. Once he has that, he can get much easier initiation onto Invasion, seeing as though they have very slow methods of disabling in the net, as well as the Ravage, which slowly expands from the center. But they're going to smoke up and look for a wraparound to top lane. They might catch this Batrider, but it's going to be a little bit iffy. They're not going to catch anyone, actually.
Yeah, it's not going to net them any kills in mid. If Venomancer sticks around, they might be able to jump onto him, but he has a haste rune. I'm not sure if they'll be able to pull him back fast enough in order to actually net them that kill, and they're just going to sit around the smoke until it wears off, and it will do so very quickly. Sand King also farming up another stack, working towards presumably his Force Staff, with that Staff of Wizardry in his inventory. Nature's Prophet is continuing to farm up very well. He does have the Orchid available now at a pretty decent timing, and we're probably not going to see a BKB for Kingdom for quite some time. Faceless Void, the primary candidate for that one, but this Faceless Void is not farming well at all. 1-2-1, 53 CS at 17 minutes in just isn't going to cut it. He doesn't even have enough money for a Mask of Madness. He's going to get caught out, trying to TP away. Did they have a way to cancel the Ice Path from Jakiro? Will, and he's going to die one way or another. Liquid Fire comes through, drops a Chronosphere, turning. That's a very questionable turn as Sunstrike comes through. Will they be able to get Ghost? It looks like Ghost might die, and the Faceless Void actually survives. I'm not sure how that happened. They'll get the Nature's Prophet now, looking for where the net goes the way of the Batrider. They pull back the Jakiro, but no follow-up. They won't be able to get this kill unless he sits in the fire for too long. With 3 stacks, he is burning pretty low, but okay, will be okay. How did the Faceless Void survive there? The Orchid Tick didn't seem to do any damage. Did he backtrack both of that? The Orchid Tick as
Yes,
well as a lot
did,
of the Liquid Fire? Okay.
They're also going to get the Venomancer in the middle lane, but Faceless Void with a 15% chance of living that because he backtracked the Orchid damage. If he didn't do that, he would have died for sure. I mean, the Orchid was pretty much 75% of his HP, so that would have been amplified, but he was lucky and he got out, and that's the BS that sometimes Faceless Void. So a pretty nice win for Kingdom. They get a couple kills around the map. They don't lose anyone for it. Really, it couldn't have gone any better for them, although I think at a certain point you have to give a lot of credit to Lady Luck.
Yeah, I think so as well. I would have thought that the Liquid Fire and whatnot would have been enough to take him down even without the Orchid Tick, and you must have just backtracked another tick of that as well. Yeah, it's just a lucky Faceless Void. But yeah. Either way, we are going to see the Tier 2 tower in mid take a lot of damage because of that Alacrity Catapult from the Invoker. Just pop that onto it and then backed off. We have the pipe completed for the Tidehunter as well as far as item pickups for both teams. We are going to have a Mithril Hammer on the Faceless Void. Whether that's a Maelstrom or a BKB is still yet to be seen. I'm kind of leaning towards Maelstrom, although BKB is going to be important at some time or another. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, either way it will be... Well, probably both of them will be picked up eventually, so hammers are going to be purchased quite frequently for this Faceless Void, as right now he could still rely on the base skills of his allies in order to get the value going. He doesn't actually have to be doing damage just yet. So BKB, I wouldn't mind that at all. And however, it will present him an awkward situation if he is BKB'd with the song active. They're going to try to go for a bottom lane push Invasion, but with this Batrider Firefly already set up, there's not much that they can do to this tower outside of just chipping at it. But Kingdom looks like they're actually not looking to initiate just yet. They only have 2 heroes down here. So, no, here's an epicenter from the south, though. They're going to kill off 2 immediately. Okay, is barely going to survive, although he will go down. Song of the Siren now going to time out in the Chronosphere. Tidehunter taking a little bit of damage from that Static Storm, but that's exactly what they want to have happen with their Siren. And now the net onto Konpaku. However, the Bat Rider's going to jump forward, going to go for Ghost. Glimpse back on the Station Prophet. He's going to get pulled right into a Hornet's Nest. He's going to try to teleport out, but that's not going to happen. And also ADTR trying to help his Nature's Prophet buddy. I don't even think Kingdom expected that. They thought that was an illusion, but they're going to realize that it's real. Burrow Strike onto her, and she's going to die. Tidehunter very smartly making it out of there, but Star in the meantime has pushed up all the way to the tier 3 and brought that down to 400 HP. Star has an Invoke available, so he could get Ghost Walk and just get out of there, or he could TP. Either way, a huge win for Kingdom as they defend their bottom lane off of an excellent epicenter from Smashy. And even though the Naga Siren could have bailed everyone out, Invasion decided to stick around for way too long, and that was Kingdom fighting a 4v5 fight. It doesn't get much better than that.
It really doesn't. The tier 2 tower fell previously to the Invoker, and as you said, the tier 3 tower also not looking too healthy at 400 HP. Or thereabouts. It's not going to regen, and that's going to make pushing high ground a lot easier for them. And they still have tier 1 towers in the other 2 lanes. This is a lot of gold that Kingdom can pull out of this map. Usually when you look at an advantage like the one that they have, at least as far as the distribution of farm on their heroes, it looks like they have a lot more towers than they actually do. The Faceless Void is still pretty much dirt poor. Probably... yeah, going to go for the BKB next after his Maelstrom, but he's still doing enough. The Chronosphere is all that they need. They can set up beautifully for the Sand King Epicenter, which has happened time and time again, as well as the Disruptor Ultimate, which came out in that last fight. It's not doing the most damage, and usually I'd like to see the Disruptor Ultimate come at the later stages of the Faceless Void Chronosphere, but it still worked out for them. Winning a 4v5 fight, you can't ask for more.
It's time to go again for round 2 on this bottom lane. The Bat Rider once again is going to set up that Firefly. However, he doesn't have a Force Staff to actually get himself out of this. This might be the death of the Bat Rider. However, it looks like Smashy has the Force Staff to get his buddy out. The Firefly this time is not going to be able to kill the Creep Wave as they do pipe it out, and the tower will fall this time. However, it will be a 1-point tower trade to Smashy. Going to get his Blink Dagger canceled. What a gale from Keswick Imba, canceling that Epicenter Blink combination, and now Invasion, they're just going to keep on going. Oh, Smashy, that was really bold of him to try to Epicenter in the middle of the lane and then try to blink in. Got punished severely, and now they have to make a defense. Star has teleported back, and still the Faceless Void is working down mid lane. This might be a tier 3 tower. It will, in fact, be a tier 3 tower for the Faceless Void, but can they make this defense happen? They're still fighting into Ravage, however, they're not fighting into a pipe. Bat Rider's going to jump in. Who's he going to go for? It's going to be Ghost, pulled right into a Meteor, and then the Static Storm. Ghost is going to go down, however, the Ravage is going to catch everyone. Star and the BKB going to try to focus down FC. With a Burrow Strike in, they will kill him off. Now they're looking for more. ADTR, Keswick Imba, both in a very sticky situation. Then it's going to be a Naga Siren going to be focused down by 3, whereas the Venomancer are going to be soloed by the Invoker. That's going to be the death of everyone from Invasion. Looks like Nature's Prophet has managed to survive, although he jumps right into the top lane where Konpaku is going to drop a Chronosphere and get a solo kill there. The Jakiro might run into this in Faceless Void, but Faceless Void just took down the range racks and got a kill, whereas the rest of his team successfully defended. Invasion, they're just getting pulled apart right now, and it's not looking good for them. 22 for 10 is the advantage, a huge golden experience advantage, upwards of 20k experience in favor of Kingdom. They're constantly fighting 4v5, and they're winning these fights. Not even just by a little bit either. They're just demolishing these fights.
They are. Forced stuff away by Smashy. I think he's going to be fine. I tried my best to capture both of his team fights, and I probably should have just committed to the one in bottom. But yeah, Faceless Void, he was just working away at that range barracks. Nature's Prophet tried to TP in. He got him very low with the Orchid, but it wasn't enough. His Faceless Void had a Chronosphere, and it's just like, you know what, screw it, Chronosphere. And then he bashes down the Nature's Prophet to death. There was nothing he could do. And yeah, 4v5, they win the fight, and then Nature's Prophet escapes, kind of, to try to defend, and it's still going to be barracks in their favor. The melee barracks drop down to half as they do jump onto top. They are going to pull back Keswick into a nice Sunstrike, well comboed by them. That's going to be a dead face, or excuse me, Venomancer, and probably a tier 2 tower to fall. I'm not sure there's actually going to be a whole hard defense, or maybe they will be. They're going to find somebody on the back lines. It's going to be Fruits, who's orchid it up, now netted down to the floor. They are going to be able to burst him down, jump in the Epicenter and smash. He's not that great. He will be able to Burrow Strike over to Ghost. Now 4 step away. He's going to survive with very little HP. Now they jump forward for the Nature's Prophet. They're going to get him, and they're still winning this fight. TP away from the Sand King. He'll be more than okay, and okay might not be so as they jump forward with the 4 staff on the Invoker, throw the Tidehunter up in the air, and they're just going to focus down okay with the right clicks. 4 staff forward, or rather blink on Tootie. Tootie's going to be able to bring that kill. That's 4 down, and well, they won't get the Tidehunter, but this tier 2 tower is slated to fall. Faceless Void pushing down bottom. They're probably going to lose 3 towers because of this.
Still another 4v5 fight being fought by Kingdom, and they come out ahead, losing only their Disruptor, as the Sand King does barely manage to skitter away, which is, with the 4 staff Blink Dagger, it's very hard to lock down and kill the Sand King. Star 5-0 and 9. This Invoker's been doing so much damage not only with his skills, but mostly with just his right clicks. I mean, he has maxed out Exhort. That's a lot of damage. It's actually plus 90-ish. It's a plus 83, actually. So it's a decent amount of damage. They are going to catch Kompaku down on bottom, but the Orchid not going to stop the teleportation out as they're going to go for top lane again. ADTR are going to get piped up, but the right click from the Invoker is substantial. And the Song looks like it will buy ADTR a little bit of time. She's going to teleport out just fine, but really only a lasso used in order to get that done. Kingdom are going to be okay with trading that for the Song and Siren Ultimate Smash. He does jump in for the FC Tidehunter. He's going to get caught in the Static Storm. It's pretty much wasted from Fruits. I think off of those wasted skills, they have to back off for now. But still, they're in such a great position because they're just completely dominating the map and constantly fighting 4v5. Faces Void has a Maelstrom completed, and he's been getting so much time to farm all alone. Still mid lane is pushing, and Invasion, their pushing comp has pretty much run out of gas. They have no late game tradition here at all. There's no one who's building any damage with the exception of Nature's Prophet, but he can't win you the game by himself.
Yeah, definitely not. He has the Orchid, and that's about it. He's been sitting on the same items for the longest time, as he hasn't been able to farm very effectively. He's just died too much. This Faceless Void, despite not having the greatest start, he's now going to pick himself up a Mjolnir. I'm not the biggest fan of this choice, although it is going to flag that he's probably just going to keep on doing what he's been doing for the last couple minutes of his game, and just push out lanes while his team fights. They don't really need him there, and if they do need him, he can TP in and offer his Chronosphere if they are on the defense. Blink Dagger on the Nature is probably nice for getting initiation, but it's not going to carry this game by any means. The net worth advantage that Kingdom have is just a little too much for Invasion to fight into at the moment. They have Ravage, they have Song. These are nice in theory, but when you're fighting up against a team that can just pick you apart like Kingdom, with the Chronosphere, Burrow Strike, Blink Dagger, Batrider, as well as a Disruptor and Invoker, they can control people so well.
Alright, so what's the game plan here for Invasion? Because I don't think they could... I think their only chance is to just take a really nice team fight that goes perfectly. Like, have someone be lassoed by the Batrider and then instantly Song to cancel that, and then try to focus down the Faceless Void, or hopefully, I guess the best case for Invasion is that Kingdom keep taking 4v5 fights, or have Smashy just run into the middle of everyone and then gets netted up. The Ice Path is going to whiff, and the net a little bit too far away, although he does get it off. He has a Burrow Strike to get himself a little bit more distance. He's going to Burrow Strike back into OK, and then use the rest of that haste rune to book it. Yeah, okay, Sand King is being an absolute nuisance with the amount of movement speed that he has. 522 with the haste rune, and even 400 when he doesn't have that haste rune, combined with his innate mobility with the Force Staff and Blink Dagger. Invasion, the Sand King just pretty much taunting them, just saying, I know you can't kill me, even if you landed, you're only disabled. Kompaku on the bottom lane, once again, is going to be in a little trouble. This time, though, he will TP out once again. He's not getting that much done in this bottom lane. He's just going to be playing Seesaw with it, as he does teleport out every single time Nature's Prophet comes in. But still, it's Invasion who are constantly on the defensive and can no longer push. And when this lineup can't push, since they've lamed this Naga Siren in a support role, they have nothing that they're stalling for. It's just a matter of time until Kingdom decide enough is enough, we're going to group up as 5 and then kill you a lot.
Yeah, I think the hope for a comeback from Invasion is get the Tidehunter pulled into the enemy team where he sets up a 5-man Ravage. Then you can follow up with the Ice Path coming in for the Jakiro, probably only onto 2 heroes. If they do get a Chronosphere off, counteract it with the Naga Siren, but even then, they aren't going to be winning this fight for anything. They need this Naga Siren to farm, and she has 7 CS. I'm pretty sure that's the lowest in this game, and it is. Yeah, this Naga Siren's not going to be in a farming position at any time soon. They're probably going to have to turtle out to 70 minutes if they really want it, and at the point, Naga Siren doesn't actually cut the cake. Like, she's not going to be able to fight up against the enemy team.
My god, I hope it doesn't go to 70 minutes. That
I
will
don't
not
think
be
so.
Fun. Yeah,
it's the hope for Invasion, though. Like, I don't see them winning this before it.
Well, hopefully Kingdom decide to pull the trigger beforehand. Still, they have yet to group up as 5, and it's Kompaku down on the bottom lane, who's once again going to do the exact same thing. Orchid is there, he's going to teleport out, but this time there's an ensnare to cancel it. However, Batrider is also here. Into the Sunstrike they go. Ghost is going to burn maybe. He's going to stick charge up and he will be fine. Now the Ravage onto 2. Ice Path onto Kompaku. There's going to be no Chronosphere, although he does get it off before he goes down. Some lucky backtracks, and the rest of the Kingdom are going to follow up straight after. Smashy going to charge the epicenter from the side. He's going to jump in and let a 2-man Burrow Strike. That's going to be beautiful to kill off a whole bunch of heroes. It's double kill for Star, and now Kessick as well as Jakiro, both in a lot of trouble. Negative earn on the Venomancer. He's going to be chased down, and the Burrow Strike will kill him off shortly. And now, okay, can he get it out? He will get out, just barely dodging that deafening blast. Jakiro is the only survivor, though. Kingdom, they lay this Faceless Void out to dry, and I love it. I mean, Faceless Void twice or 3 times now has been jumped on the bottom lane and he TPs out to safety. Jumped on the bottom lane, TPs out to safety. Then when he gets jumped on the bottom lane, he turns around and fights because it's been a trap that Kingdom have been setting up pretty elaborately, expecting Invasion to go in. Now they're going to catch Shakiro in the mid lane. This game looks like it might just be going to a close. At least it's not going to be extended for another 70 minutes, as this mid Rax is in a lot of trouble. Smashy, 2D, and Fruits all here. Where's the Invoker? That's what they really need right now. It's another Burst Strike from Smashy to clear the creep wave, but Invoker's coming in. He's low on mana, but now he has a Sheep Stick. Ravage not available for the Tide, so really, what can Invasion do at this point? They're going to go for an Anchor Smash on the Fruits, won't kill him off. Sunstrike onto Ghost, will land squarely, and Stars here with the right clicks. This Invoker is going to be dishing in the BKB form. He's going to go for whoever he gets hands on, throws the Veno into the air, and now he's just going to town on this Veno. However, his team is gone. They probably should help Star out, but here comes Kompaki with a 3-man Chronosphere into a Burrow Strike. Sand King going to kill off the Venomancer. Still Star is under a little bit of pressure by Ghost coming in from the back, but he's going to Force Staff out and be just fine. 4 down, 4 Invasion. Now Ghost, the last one to survive. He's going to be beaten down, bashed up. Nothing you can do about that. Once again, the Jakiro is the only one to alive, but that's because he just respawned now. It's a triple kill for Kompaku, and Kingdom, they're keeping all their heroes alive, at least all their important heroes alive. For sure, this mid lane is going to go down, and I think the bot lane is going to follow. No, it's going to be no lanes, because GG has been called.
Yeah, game 2, much faster than game number 1. Kingdom, they just kind of ran circles around Invasion. I was kind of expecting Invasion to get their push online faster than they did, and they weren't able to do so. When the Blink Daggers came online, it was enough for them to take fights convincingly. They consistently fought 4v5 and were still able to win, just with the amount of mobility and lockdown that they had, and that's where Invasion's lineup really lacked.
Alright guys, that's going to be the end of this best of 2, and I think it will be the end of JDL Asia for now. We're going to be going over to America, actually. It seems pretty early for that, but it's fine, because we got Not vs. Boreal, just one game between them, coming up in about an hour. So this one is going to end 1-1, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's mostly Grandis doing all the heavy lifting in game number 1. But yeah, if you did enjoy it, guys, then be sure to hit that follow button down below on your screen. Also go over to HeflaTV 1, where I think they should be closing, if not closed already. But we got more Dota here on HeflaTV 2, so be sure to not go anywhere, because there's going to be more good games coming up.
Yeah, about 49 minutes, and we'll have some American Division 1 games from the Join Dota League. So if you do want to watch more Dota, this is the place to find it. I've been GrandisV, he's been Mike Loris. Be back in just a few for some American Dota.
GG, guys.
GG.